Hi guys, welcome back aboard good old Athena. It's time for us to untie the lines, leave mainland Europe and head to the Canary Islands in preparation of our Atlantic crossing. That's going to be roughly a 600 nautical mile passage. It should take us about 5 days. Now in terms of weather, it's looking a little bit meh. But it's the best weather window we're going to get in the foreseeable future. As far as today, the wind is pretty decent and we should be able to sail up until around midnight, something like that. Then the wind is going to die down and it shouldn't really pick up again until we reach the coast of Morocco. So the wind looks pretty decent for our departure, but the sea state might be an issue, but we won't really know until we get out there. My name is Mess, this is my wife Ava. I've spent the last 5 years on a somewhat extensive refit of our 1987 Warrior 38 named Athena. That was a DIY fun-packed adventure complete with a very extensive osmosis treatment, building a new rudder using vacuum infusion, rebuilding the entire deck, gutting and subsequently rebuilding most of the interior, painting the topsides, and a ton of other projects. The summer of 2021 we started cruising full-time. Now we're finally ready to begin our adventure.
Good morning, this is Maria Bartz. Please go ahead, over.
Good morning. We're just in our berth right now and we were wondering when the next bridge opening will be.
This is Maria Bartz, that's understood. We can open the bridge in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Can you just tell me the name of your boat, over?
Gonna take the starboard off?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we're ready. Yeah, hopefully
Thank you.
we'll see you in the Caribbean.
Yes,
Yeah.
Well, it's official. We have left mainland Europe. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, next stop in roughly 600 miles.
Woohoo! That's right, people. The engine is off and we are sailing.
Yeah, we've done all about a couple of miles. And here behind me we have our Norwegian buddy boat.
Yep.
We figured it would be nice to have another boat to cross the last bit of Orca territory with. And they're also heading to the Canaries, so it's kind of nice opportunity.
We're pretty emotional today. I think we're excited and nervous. We're excited to finally be out of Orca territory. We don't know for sure, but we're thinking maybe 50 to 100 miles offshore we should be safe.
Yeah. Having said that, our friends aboard West Sail, they had an Orca encounter halfway in between Portugal and the Canaries, but those were friendly orcas, so that's a different part than the part that wrecks rudders. So yeah, but fingers crossed.
I think we're mostly just excited. We're doing it.
Yeah, excited, and the reason we're nervous is because, well, it is our longest passage together so far, and also the weather is not really that stable. I mean, the forecast we've got now looks okay, decent for the passage, but yeah, it's gonna be 5 or even 6 days until we get there, so who knows what it'll look like by then.
Yeah. I'm mostly just concerned that we brought enough food and I don't have to cannibalize Mess halfway through the trip.
Oh, okay. For the first couple of hours, we're gonna be a little bit sheltered by Portugal, both from sea state and from the wind. The sea state, yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna be a bumpy ride, but we'll see.
You guys might be able to get some barf shots. Woohoo! Mads doesn't like my barf jokes.
Well, I mean, it's no fun being seasick.
No.
It is about 7 hours later. Ava's unfortunately feeling a little bit seasick, so she's down taking a nap. And well, I've just been sitting up here in the cockpit having fun. As you might be able to tell, we've got all our sails up. Right now it's pretty steady at 17 knots, which is super nice. But a little bit earlier it was kind of gusty. It was steady at around 15, but then there were gusts up to 23, 24. As you can see, we've got a reef in the mainsail, and we've also furled the head sail just a tiny bit. I really like sitting in this spot right here behind the helm when we're underway. It gives the best view, and you've got the chartbuilder right here. It's just a great little spot. Now it is a little bit annoying when we have to furl and unfurl, for instance the head sail, because I have to go forward. And with all those gusts, I decided to try something else, and that was to put up the staysail. I really like this staysail because it's such a tiny sail. Even in 20-25 knots of wind, I can easily furl it just by pulling this line by hand. And that's super easy to do because we've got a couple of clutches up there. So that means when I've pulled the line and I'm repositioning my hand, I can just let go of the line and the sail won't unfurl because the clutch will hold on to the line. We've got the sheet for the staysail right here. That means I can furl and do all the sail handling right here from my comfy beanbag chair. Huge win. In terms of speed, I think we're doing okay. We're keeping up with our Norwegian friends in the 40-foot boat, and that's a much more modern hull design. So yeah, I think we're doing okay. In terms of distance to the Canaries, we still have a long ass way to go, but if we can keep the speed up, we should be off the coast of Africa in 30 hours.
I don't know if you can see me very well, but it is around 2:30 in the morning. The sea state has calmed down a lot from earlier today, and of course the wind has calmed down. There's not a lot of wind right now, but there's a sliver of moon, but it's hiding behind the clouds, and we're about 130 miles from the Moroccan coast, which is pretty cool. I've never been in this part of the world before, so that is exciting for me. But Mads is down sleeping, and I've been up for a while, and yeah, there's pretty much no boats around. Also, the stars are incredible tonight. They're just so bright and clear, especially earlier when there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I felt like I could see every star that was out there, but it's so beautiful. I wish the camera could do it justice, but it's very peaceful and beautiful seeing all the stars out tonight.
It's now 49 hours since we left Portugal. We know that because of the little clock that's on our GPS satellite tracking doohickey. But yeah, the sea state has calmed down a lot. That first night, we were both seasick.
Yeah,
so
that was a rough one.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. But luckily, we were kind of staggered. So
yeah.
Ava was seasick first, and then she started feeling better, and then I was seasick. So we were still able to keep an effective watch.
Yep. The first day was Barfapalooza. Sorry, no barf shots. Sorry for using the word barf so much. But yeah, then yesterday was pretty much just like recoup day. We felt much better yesterday, but I think we just took turns sleeping, and
we were tired yesterday.
Yeah, we were very tired. But then like this morning, we both woke up, have a lot more energy, feel a lot better. The sun's out, it's getting warmer. And yeah, it's just like, I feel like now we can start to enjoy the time passing and yeah, just relax a little bit.
According to the forecast, the sea state is the calmest it's gonna be while we're out here. And in fact, the sea state's gonna pick up quite a bit tomorrow. And that makes today our perfect opportunity to take some of the jerry cans of diesel up from the deck and get them into the tank. Okay, here we go. Carrying extra diesel up on deck like that is not really the most graceful of solutions. As you can see, it's kind of difficult to drag the jerry cans back to the cockpit and get them into the tank, but yeah, it's a nice little bonus diesel to have. The day tank that's feeding the engine is now nice and topped off. Now, there's no wind today or tonight, so we're going to be motoring for the next roughly 24 hours. But after that, the wind should pick back up again, and we should be able to sail the rest of the way to the Canary Islands.
I just want to show you guys something. I was so tired yesterday that I put the toilet paper in the wrong way. Any sane person knows that the toilet paper pulls from the top. This is sacrilege in our household, but I just had to get the toilet paper on there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cooking Underway. Finally, since we were sick the first day and we weren't really into eating yesterday, we just had sandwiches. Today is the first day I'm finally gonna cook. Well, I mean, sort of cook, because I actually pre-cooked a bunch of meals before we left and I froze them. That was because I wasn't sure how we were gonna feel and if we were gonna wanna cook underway which I am really glad I did that now. I took this bag out earlier and it is fully defrosted now. Tonight we're having green curry. I know it looks a little suspicious, but in here we have the sauce, eggplant, and chicken, and now all we have to do is microwave it. I'm just gonna microwave it in this container here, and then it's already in its storage container for leftovers, and I've actually made enough of each meal to have 2 nights in a row. And just like my mother taught me, Ziploc bags are like gold, so we wash and reuse. That is another thing that is so nice about this stove, is that we can also use it as a microwave, which makes cooking underway so nice. But we have a new addition that I am so excited about. Dun dun dun! We got a new spiffy rice maker. We got the rice maker for the obvious reason of making cooking easier while underway, and plus it's a lot safer. With this machine, the lid locks shut and we don't ever have to handle boiling water. Plus, this machine can make pasta and oatmeal and a cake, so it's pretty cool. You just throw everything in, close the lid, and bam, ready to go. Now all we have to do is sit around and wait for the rice to be done, and then dinner will be ready. But just a quick tip, don't forget to put olive oil in the rice cooker. That's what stops it from boiling over. I didn't know that. I learned that from reading the manual, and of course I learned to read the manual from Mads.
Meanwhile, out here in the cockpit, we've had our first, in quotes, serious incident on this passage. The almighty god Starlink that provides us with internet in remote places have decided that we're no longer worthy of said internet. I don't know if it's because we're too close to Morocco where they don't have Starlink yet, or if there's something wrong with our dishy, but the app just keeps saying offline and searching. I've tried using the stove and unstove function in the app, and also tried to restart the whole thing a couple of times, and yeah, nothing seems to work. No internet for us. Besides Iridium Go, which doesn't really count. While we were waiting for the rice to cook, the sun set and it's now very dark out here, so we can't really show you the green curry, but it is freaking delicious. This is what it looks like in our red night light. I swear it is green during the day. We'll finish our dinner and then we will sail into the night for what should be a very comfortable flat night. Tonight I've got the first watch and it is completely flat out here, and there aren't any other boats around except for one sailboat that's on a kinda almost parallel, but then also a little bit of a collision course with us. It's out there somewhere, we can just barely see the lights from it, but their AIS is kinda shite, so they keep popping up and going away on the chat platter. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for them. Oh, right there they are. See that AIS marker there with the crossover? That means we had a signal, but we've lost it. So yeah, they're out there somewhere. This is us right here, and this is our friend. And as you can see, we are ever so slightly getting closer to each other. Looking at the AIS data, the other boat is going around 7 knots, a little bit over 7 knots, and we're going a little under 6 knots. So yeah, I think they'll just shoot right past us, and there shouldn't be an issue. Good morning, guys. It was a long and uneventful night. Nothing really much happened except for one thing. Around midnight, I think it was, Dishy just went flat all by itself, and voila, we had internet again. That really helped pass the time sitting here alone in the middle of the night, so that was a welcome surprise. As of right now, we have 176 miles to go to our destination. The wind is around 6 to 7 knots true this morning, so that's not really enough that we can sail at any meaningful speed, but it is supposed to pick up to 14 in a couple of hours. There is quite a bit of shipping out here, but yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it yet, but our destination is down here on Lanzarote. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but there are a couple of marinas along the south coast here where we hope we can dock in for a couple of days before we head on to Tenerife. The reason I hadn't mentioned our exact destination yet was because I was waiting to see what the wind was going to do. But with the current forecast, it looks like we have a great opportunity to go to Lanzarote and then spend a couple of days there before heading on. So it'll be nice to see some of the different islands. So it turns out the weather forecast was lying. We never got that boost of wind. but what we did get was 7 or 8 knots right on the nose, which has kicked up a slight little chop, which has slowed us down quite a bit. With that sea state, we've slowed down to about 4.5 knots, and we still have 124 knots to go. I'm still hopeful that we'll make it to Tenerife tomorrow. The wind is again supposed to pick up tomorrow around 10 o'clock in the morning, and that should hopefully give us a nice speed boost. In other news, we had our first offshore showers today. Before the sea state got a little bit lumpy, we both managed to squeeze in showers, so at least that is really nice. The wind did pick up, but not quite from the promised direction, so we spent the day close-hauled. Thankfully, the sea state didn't really have time to build up before the wind died back down again early in the afternoon. I spent most of the day editing at the Mads station, being very pleased that we got the seasickness out of the way on the first day. As per usual, Ava spent most of her day reading and crocheting.
Land ho! Woohoo!
Yep, Lanzarote is right here behind us, and yeah, we still have 18 miles to go until we're at the marina where we're going to be staying for the next 2 days. So sadly, we won't be getting in until it's gotten dark, but at least we're almost there.
Yeah, and I just checked the tracker. We have been sailing for 102 hours. I think we're both very much looking forward to like getting up and moving our bodies. I think the worst part is just like sitting for hours on end. I try to get up and like move around and do stretches and like small workouts, but like, oh man, like this sitting down for hours and hours kind of takes a toll, but I'm excited to move.
With no more wind, we motored the rest of the way to the marina, where we pulled in just as it had gotten completely dark. Lanzarote is well known for its harsh volcanic landscape. We decided to rent a car the next day and drove all around the island. We kicked rocks, saw beautiful views, and went on a very touristy cave tour. There is no doubt that Lanzarote has a lot more to offer that we could cover in this one quick day. But my parents are waiting for us in Tenerife, so the plan is for us to get up early tomorrow morning and sail there. That's going to be an overnight sail. It's about 140, 130 miles, something like that. Tenerife is going to be our last stop before the Atlantic crossing. So that means it's the last chance to fix anything that's broken. Like for instance, there's a seal on the stove that's broken. I want to replace that. We also have a block on our main sheet that's dead. It's just minor stuff like that. So we hope all of you guys will join us here aboard Athena next week for a little bit of sailing and some DIY fun. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below, and don't forget, if you've enjoyed this video,
Please remember to leave a like.
see you!